All right. With the new Superman movie on the way, I wanted to do a video talking about something crypto related and not crypto, like the scam thing. I meant the dog. And so I thought I'd go with the show that came out, I think the year I was born. Was this 2003? Does it say? It does not say. Whatever, it came out in the very early 2000s. And then it's Krypto, the Superdog. This show was a interesting show. I don't know if it's a weird show because, like I said, it came out when I was born. So I didn't watch this show when it aired because I would have been a very, very small child who was still shitting in diapers. I'm sorry. But, I remember watching this show in reruns on Boomerang, and then it just kind of disappeared until this complete series box set, or not box set, really should be a box set, because this is here's the episode guide right here, and then you get 4 discs stacked in here, like, doesn't even need to be a box set, just have 2 flippers, like, geez Louise. Like, why do we, but either way, until the set came out, and then I was able to revisit the show, and I remembered nothing about it after revisiting the show. And I think that speaks to the quality of this show. Let's start what's weird about this show. So first of all, Krypto as a character, I don't know the full, backstory of Krypto in the comics, right? But he's Superman's dog. That's why he's why he's got the cape with the S, right? You got Ace the Bat Hound. I think it was a 60s thing. It might have been a 50s thing, but basically all the superheroes were having their kind of own pets. And, Ace the Bat Hound and Krypto are kind of the only ones that's really lived out of that era. The rest of them have kind of disappeared. Because it was a kind of a weird, goofy thing. But, Superman having a super dog from Krypton, why not? It sticked around because people just like dogs. And Ace the Bat Hound kind of sticked around because his design is just cool. Like, when you make Ace the Bat Hound merch, look at that design right there. That is just cool of Ace the Bat Hound right there. So, but yeah, he just kind of disappeared. This whole Krypto Superdog thing. So I don't. But what's weird about it is when they made this show, they have a random kid who owns Krypto. None of the, mainline DC superheroes show up in the show. I have to wonder if that was a Warner Brothers mandate, because Warner Brothers was doing, their Batman, the animated series, DC animated universe. All those shows like Justice League, all that stuff. I think those were airing around the same time the show came out. So I kind of wonder if that was a mandate of, hey, you can't have those characters in them. Because why would you have a random kid owning Krypto? Because then why does he look like Superman's dog? If he's not Superman's dog. This design here is the most recognizable, I guess, design you can make, at least with the art style of the show anyways. But he's not Superman's dog. It's just a weird thing. And then, ignoring all that, when you just watch the episodes, they're really boring. It almost feels like nothing happens in this show, which is not true. Stuff happens, but none of it's really memorable. A lot of the voice acting is very, super mediocre, where, it's not that they're not trying, but it's the most mundane, subdued kind of voices that just don't really work. The animation is pretty bland. It's not ugly to look at, but it's also not pretty to look at, if that makes sense. It's just kind of there. And that's just the way to describe this show. It was fun revisiting it because I kind of had nostalgia of seeing this show around on Boomerang and all these things. And, it being around because it's been around since I've been alive. But now, actually sitting down and watching the show with, I guess, older adult eyes, didn't really hold up or really mean anything to me now. So yeah, I did not care for this show. It's not bad. I just did not care for it.